and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan, and today I was playing around with some FPL AI tools to try and, just figure out what's what, get some ideas, get some inspiration, and I ended up building a team for 100 million that I did not think was possible, that has maybe changed my mind on the Gameweek 9 wildcard entirely. I didn't realize you could actually build a team this strong for 100 million, so I thought, okay, we got to share this with you guys. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. If you enjoy this one, do drop a like, do subscribe if you're new around here. Let me share this team with you. So like I said, this team cost just 100 million. I did not think it was possible, but that's the benefit of AI tools and, just tools in general in FPL. So they can give you access to things that you didn't even think was possible. So I'm going to share this with you. It is pretty much the perfect team you can make in FPL, according to the AI algorithms. And more so, it is the perfect team you can make within 100 million budget, again, according to these algorithms. So let me show you, go through player by player. First of all, starting off in goal with Turner. He plays against Luton Town next, so really nice fixture for him. After that, we've got Liverpool and Aston Villa, so he's going to be the kind of goalkeeper who we rotate. But I've said this before, Nottingham Forest actually an underrated defence in the Premier League, so they are expected to pick up some points throughout the upcoming games. Like 4.1 predicted points against Luton is pretty good, and then we've got fixtures against we've got like Everton in a few game weeks time, 3.8 predicted points there as well. So yeah, not too bad really at all. Let's move on into defence, and we've got Kieran Trippier. Yes, I mean, you're going to see soon, guys, but we've got all of the big hitters somehow managed to fit into this team. I don't know how this is possible. I'm still super confused about it, but hey, let's share it with you anyway. But yeah, Trippier is going to be in this team. Crystal Palace up next. We're expecting big points from him in that game. 5.2 predicted, 4.6 predicted against Wolves, and it just looks like Trippier is going to be bouncing between a 4 and 5 predicted points. But we know, like, with the creativity he has and the the great finishers in that team, that he could do even better than that and he can get some really big FPL scores. We've kind of seen that pretty consistently over the last few game weeks. It's been an amazing pick, and even with all of the price increases, the fact that we can still fit him into a team is just impressive to me. So he is going to be that next player. Obviously, up next, we're going to have Matty Cash. I mean, he's just like in every wildcard type team at the moment, isn't he? And for good reason as well. So yeah, good predicted points upcoming. Luton Town, 5 predicted points there is the big one, really, isn't it? So if Cash just continues to play the way he's playing, playing in this Aston Villa defense, getting forward and, taking those chances to create and shoot in the box, then again, yeah, it's going to be really good news for him. So Cash, really liking the look of him. AI really, really likes him as well. And we're going to finish off this defense with Dan Burn. Same fixtures as Newcastle, obviously, some decent fixtures coming up. Arsenal at home is the only real tricky one that we have over the next, 7, 8, 9 game weeks. So that's going to be pretty good for him there. 4.6 million, so a pretty decent price at that kind of range, and just allows you to double up on that Newcastle defence, take extra advantage of the clean sheets that we expect Newcastle to get because they're a top Premier League defence. So yeah, Dan Burn sneaks in there as well. Let's move on into midfield, and you're going to continue to see that we have got all the big hitters in here. Salah is going to come up first. So yeah, we've got Salah, obviously. If you're on a wild card right now, you probably want to be going for him. He's going to become super essential in the upcoming game weeks. What was really interesting here, and I think it's because Salah is playing at Anfield, playing at home. Looking at these predicted points, he's predicted 7.4 and 7.6 in the next 2 against Everton and Forest. But then after that, he plays Luton, and his predicted points is down to 6.8. Now, that's still really, really high. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's a decent... If you get a player who can average you, like, 6 or 7 points every game week throughout the season, that's going to be a really, really good result for you. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty decent there. But I was just surprised to see that he's got such high predicted points in the next 2. So, yeah, something to take note of. Maybe. Like, I know I've said, you can probably wait a game week or 2 before getting Salah. You don't have to get him in before the Luton Town game. But then at that point, you probably want to make it your big priority. Maybe actually going in on him now might be kind of a wise idea. We've got Son up next. So, yes, like I say, we've got everyone, guys. Everyone's joining us today. Everyone's part of the gang. Yeah, Son against Fulham next. That's a really nice fixture for him. But also, really nice predicted points against Chelsea at 6.5. Now, I think maybe over the last couple of days, and maybe it's kind of just after Son blanked against Luton. I kind of was been feeling a little bit down on Son, and maybe actually forgetting like what great form he is in general, and not one game where he doesn't score, I don't think necessarily changes that. And I think if the fixtures suit him a bit more, then he could still get some really nice points. And against the likes of Fulham and Chelsea, I think these kind of fixtures actually suit him a little bit more. A few game weeks after that, we've got the likes of Aston Villa at home. I think that could be a good opportunity for Son as well. I think in general, there is still a lot to love about Son, and maybe we should be giving him the love he deserves, as he has provided a lot over the recent game weeks. Maybe not against Sheffield United and Luton. Maybe some of the returns have been unexpected against Arsenal and against Liverpool there. But hey, he's doing the business, and he seems, you know, like he's getting the big points. Maybe not consistently, but still. Next up, we have got Diaby in here. So yeah, he's going to be an essential player no matter what you're doing right now. Whether you're just using transfers or wildcarding, Diaby would be a player I would be having pretty much 99% of the time. So yeah, he's going to go in here. 6.7 million, but I expect he will go up in price over the next few game weeks. He could easily get to 7 million in the near future. West Ham and Luton are the next two fixtures. Both really nice home fixtures, which predicted over 5 points in each of those. In fact, he's predicted over 5 points in most of his fixtures from here on. So yeah, definitely a decent pick for 6.7 million. Next up, we have got Gordon. So yes, Gordon in this team ahead of Neto. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. It's an interesting one. I think Newcastle are obviously a better team than Wolves, so maybe that kind of plays into why you would perhaps go for Gordon instead of Neto. But Gordon just has higher predicted points. And actually, when you look at Gordon's, like, predicted points per million that he costs, he's actually providing some of the best value in FPL according to this AI algorithm. So, look, that's really, really interesting to me. I do like some of these fixtures. And obviously, he is going to be involved when he is starting as, you know, one of the main attackers at Newcastle. So, yeah, Gordon, according to AI, he's genuinely one of the best picks in FPL because of the value he provides for your money. And we're going to finish off this midfield with a player who hasn't really been in many wildcard teams recently. But, hey, he makes the cut in this one, and that is going to be Kaoru Mitoma. Obviously, he has withdrawn from the Japan team because of illness, so he has been flagged in FPL, which has affected his predicted points just a little bit. But 3.5 predicted points against Man City, you probably take in a fixture like that anyway. But I think what's gone on here is the fact that Man City have shown some fragilities recently. Brighton have shown that they can score against the likes of Liverpool, still can do very well in those big, tough games. They're going to be coming off the back of an international break. Maybe some players finally earning a bit of a rest after their 2 games per game week every single week, which has been really, really tough for Brighton. And after that, as we know, Brighton have phenomenal fixtures. So after that, Brighton play Fulham, Everton, Sheffield United, Forest, all in a row, those 4 fixtures. And in that period, Mitoma is predicted over 5 points, 5 to 6 points, pretty much every single game beyond this this Man City game. 4.9 predicted points against Everton. That's the one exception there. So he's going to be a really nice pick. And what's even better is that Mitoma could even drop in price to 6.5 million. It looks like he is on a downward trajectory. So if you're looking to buy him, I would wait and see if he drops price to 6.5 before you go in on him. But if you can go in on him like now whilst he's at 6.5, then that's going to be really, really good. And, you know, he's definitely going to go back up in price after that as well. So, look, this team could even cost less than 100 million, which is even more crazy to me. It really is. Let's move up front. Erling Haaland is your main striker. Of course he is. He's in every team created by AI anyway. And every team created by sensible FPL managers. And that's not to say being sensible is always the right answer. It's okay to go a little bit crazy right now, but I feel like anyone who is, you know, a little bit of a sensible FPL manager, kind of prefers to play things a little bit safer, maybe would go for Erling Haaland in their team all the time. So yeah, I'm expecting Erling Haaland, to be fair, to be back to his best from now onwards as well. So we've got Brighton at home. It's a really nice fixture. Manchester United and Bournemouth, I think these are good fixtures for Haaland as well. So I think he can get back to producing the points that make him worth that big old price tag, right? And we've got Ollie Watkins here as well. Yeah. Somehow, Ollie Watkins also makes the cut in this team. Crazy. But yeah, Ollie Watkins is in here. West Ham, Luton, and Nottingham Forest, the next 3 fixtures. Really, really nice predicted points here as well. Predicted slightly more points than Diaby. But what is interesting, that he's not predicted that many more points than Diaby. So those of you guys who can't necessarily get to Watkins, maybe Diaby is going to be a decent alternative. But hey, Watkins, still some really nice predicted points here, and he's going to be a really nice pick, particularly for that Luton Town at home game. Like, that's going to be really nice for Watkins, and we're all going to want to have him for that game. So, yeah, try and get him if you can. Going on to the bench, guys, we've got Areola as a rotation goalkeeper, and then just some super cheap players. So we've got Kabore, Taylor, and Mubama. A lot of you guys are going to have problems with that. I know a lot of you guys like to have money on your bench. For me personally, I'm an FPL manager that just is not bothered about spending any money on my bench whatsoever. So for me, this team looks absolutely great, but I do understand for a lot of you guys, this is not going to be your preference. And of course, if your budget is over 100 million, and I know most of you guys are over that budget by this point, you are going to be able to make improvements to this team. You are going to be able to make upgrades. You are going to be able to, you know, upgrade that bench or upgrade one of the main players on the field. And it's all going to look pretty good. So captain's armband is going to go on Haaland. Vice captain is going to go on Salah. Those are the first and second highest predicted points for game week 9. So that's where the armbands are going to go. And looking at this team, guys, like, tell me, what's missing from this team? You could say Maddison is maybe missing, but is Maddison essential? Probably not. I don't know. I'm really trying to figure out who is missing from this team, and I'm coming up blank. This team has everything, and it fits within the 100 million budget. It just looks really, really good. It just looks really, really strong, and I'm happy. I just had a little play around with the Fantasy Football Hub AI tool, which, by the way, guys, you can check out in the description. Just to have a play around, just to see what was possible within 100 million. Because before, I was saying, when I made my wildcard video earlier on in the week, I said, A, I don't love Game Week 9 for a wildcard, and B, I said it's impossible to fit in everyone. It's too hard to fit in everyone. But with the use of this tool, I've kind of proven that I was wrong. I was wrong. You know, clearly I couldn't do it on my own. I needed the help from a tool, and that's exactly what happened here. So, yeah, I want to show you maybe some alternatives you can do in this team and show you how it lines up each game week from here on. So, yeah, let me show you that quickly. Okay, guys, so we are actually now on the Fantasy Football Hub My Team tool on the website. Like I say, guys, if you want to check this tool out and have a play around with it yourself, you can do so for absolutely for free using the link in the description, and just have a play around. Just see what's up. Like I said, the fact that Mitoma is flagged did drop this team down to 99%. However, it was at 100% before he got his flag. But what I should say is that within the budget of 100 million, you can't get it above 99% there. And you don't need to do much to actually improve it up to that 100%. You just need to switch at Mitoma, who is predicted 19 points over the next 4 game weeks, to like a Foden, who is predicted 20 points. So if we go to midfielders, if you have the budget, like an extra 1 million in the bank, if you switch Mitoma to Foden there, and suddenly, you know, we have a situation where you can get that team up to a 100% team rating, which is obviously very, very good. What's even more interesting is you get a game week rating of 98%, which is insanely high. Usually we don't see the game week ratings quite as high as the overall rating, because it's so difficult to have a team that is perfect for every game week. But to get that to 98% is really, really nice. 69.7 predicted points for this game week. That is really, really high. If you're looking to go for someone else in that 5th midfield slot, that you don't want to go for Mitoma, maybe you can't quite afford Foden. If we go on the 4 game week prediction, we change the budget to, I don't know, 7.5 million, so slightly less than a Foden there, so 7.5. We have also got Bowen here, who's got really nice predicted points over this period as well. But honestly, I don't think Mitoma is going to be, you know, too bad. I think he should be fine to play. And after that, his predicted points are, you know, even nicer than Bowen. So, yeah, Bowen is definitely an alternative there. But Mitoma is probably the guy I would probably stick with if I was on a wild card right now and needed to build that team within a 100 million budget. And I would actually, instead, if you have extra budget, I would instead prefer to probably change a defender. I know some of you guys would like to change Mubama to an archer, but let's be honest, are you ever going to play this player anyway? Probably not. I would rather upgrade a defender to a 4.5. So I'd probably take Kabore to a 4.5 million defender. Let's just have a look, see who the AI tool likes for 4.5s. Well, okay, it likes, we can't have Aston Villa, so Pau Torres, Concert are not going to be available to us, but Aguerd there at 4.5, Pinnock, Emerson, Zuma, Veltman, kind of interesting, 4.4 there. Bolly, Sofao, who we spoke about in the differentials video. Don't forget to check that out if you haven't done already. So yeah, there are some other options for you guys there. So if we go through this team each game week with Mitoma in it, the only change, because of the weak bench with this exact team, the only change we're going to see actually is the goalkeeper and the bench order each game week. But obviously you are going to be making transfers during this time. And one thing I do want to note on this team is after game week 9, what I would probably look to do in game week 10 is switch Son to Saka, because if I'm being brutal with this team, the one thing that does concern me is because we've got 3 midfielders with Diaby, Mitoma and Gordon. They're all kind of cheap midfielders. There's no direct route to get a Arsenal midfielder in here, but we can do that. We can go Son out in game week 10 and bring him to well, hang on, let's get the price right. Midfielder at 8.6 million. We'll go for him there. Saka, by this point, could even be 8.5 million. So you could get a nice bargain for him, get him in ahead of that Sheffield United game and the Burnley game a couple of weeks after. So that's going to start to make the team look a lot nicer. Yes, you have no Son in your team, but you suddenly have this Arsenal, your entry into the Arsenal team there, which is pretty nice as well. That will actually free up 0.9 million, I believe, by doing that move, depending on how much money you have invested in Son. So it's going to depend, depending on who you are, how much you are invested in Son. But you've got to free up a little bit of budget at least, and maybe that could be used to upgrade the likes of Gordon. So if you don't like Gordon in this Wolves game, or, you know, the game week after that, Gordon plays against Arsenal. At that point, you can say, see you later, Gordon. I don't want you in my team anymore. I want a midfielder who costs around, I don't know, probably less than 6.5 to be fair. But Ward-Prowse is going to be the player that sticks out to me immediately there at 6.3 million. But you can still get March at 6.3 million here as well. So if you want to go even further into the Brighton midfielders, you could go for a March, you could go for a Ward-Prowse, because you can now suddenly afford that because you've downgraded Son to Saka. So we're starting to see actually a nice kind of trajectory, a nice plan forming from this, you know, template team, if you like. So yeah, wanted to share that with you guys because I just think it's really, really interesting, and it's given me inspiration. Even though I'm not on a wildcard right now, it's given me a lot of inspiration as to what kind of moves I could be looking to make in my FPL moving forward, and hopefully it's going to do the exact same thing for you. Remember, if you want to check out this tool, the link is in the top of the description. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please do drop a like. I really do appreciate all of the support on the channel recently. You guys are legends. Do subscribe if you're new around here. Road to 200,000 subscribers is on. Don't forget to check out the differentials video. That is right there. Don't miss that differentials video. It's good. You get to find out about players you never even thought about before. But aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, normal FPL content returning very, very soon. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching once again, and I'll see you later, mates.